Hi there, I'm James. Welcome to another yoga core session. If you haven't done this class before, we primarily target the midsection, the abdominal muscles, the obliques. We might work a little bit of glutes and lower back and do some basic hatha yoga asanas to stretch out and get some counter poses to relieve some of the tension in case we build up any tension throughout the practice. Be mindful with your lower back as you practice. I'll try to offer some guidance and some modifications, but what's most important is that you have a safe practice and you scan, modify, and rest when you need to, okay? Hopefully your belly is roughly empty. The past couple of hours, you don't want to have consumed any big portions of food or anything. You want to do this relatively on an empty stomach. So if you have just eaten, I would say just give the video a pause, take a break, wait about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then come back and start the practice. I will be using 2 blocks today to have the hands to sort of press and lift the hips off the floor to target more of that compression. If you have 2 blocks, that'd be great. If not, something of equal height that you could place your hands on each side could also serve a similar purpose. I do use these disc gliders, which I'll leave a link for you at the bottom of the video. These are optional too if you're wearing a pair of socks, for example, and you're on a wooden floor. When we come to do those gliders that we do, if you haven't done those before, you'll see them later. You could do those with your feet kind of sliding on your wooden floor. I have carpet here, so the gliders do come in handy, okay? Let's go ahead and start in a downward facing dog position to start, just to stretch out the legs a little bit, move and rock the knees a little bit back and forth, and just start to warm up a bit and stretch. So we'll go ahead and get started in a downward facing dog. Have your hands about shoulder distance apart, maybe even a little bit wider. Spread the fingers wide open, get as much surface area contact with your mat as you can. If this is a bit much for your shoulders to begin with, have your hands on your blocks and then sort of walk the dog here and bicycle pedal out the feet. Nod the head yes, shake the head no. And you can continue to do that and just notice how the stretch feels along the backs of the legs as you alternate. Notice how the space between your ears and shoulder feels if you're tensing up that space. Try to relax through your neck a bit more, relax your shoulders away from ears. And then maybe as you gradually settle the heels down, or do your best to press floor away to get your heels closer to your mat, start to lengthen breath through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Hollow out the belly, which means draw your belly button in and up into your spine. And slowly lower your knees down. Maybe sit back onto your heels. If that's a bit much for the knees, this sort of deep reflection. Keep a block between the feet here, and you can maybe sit on your block. Okay, but otherwise sit back here. Begin to shrug your shoulders up, back, and down a bit. Make a fist with each hand, circle the wrists around. Really flexing those forearms, because at some point we will come to planks and we will be on the forearms, so we want sort of the shoulders and hands gradually more prepared. Okay, circle the hands maybe here as you interlace. Give your wrists a little bit of a stretch. And again, shrug the shoulders a bit here. Relax through the shoulders now and gently shake the head now. And nod the head yes. Let's come to a neutral table position. Again, hands about shoulder distance apart or slightly wider. Ground your hands down through the fingertips. Sometimes I like to bend the fingers right at the little knuckles, right at the joints, and sort of squeeze the mat like I'm drawing the mat towards me. So I'll squeeze and I'll press, and then the fingers will come off the floor just a bit. If that's a bit much, you could keep the fingers flat. That's okay too. Eyes of your elbows rotate externally through the arms, so the eyes of the elbows face forward. Keep a little soft bend in the elbows. You don't have to lock them out, okay? Adjust your knees, adjust your shins. In a comfortable distance for you. And begin Vidalasana here, cow and cat. Inhaling as you come to the lordata curve of your lumbar. Gaze forward slightly. Exhaling, rounding back, hug belly in, and tucking tailbone underneath you as you press floor away, chin towards chest, shoulders away from ears. And then continue this at your own pace. Sometimes you might come onto the knuckles this way, and that might bring more comfort for your hands and your wrists also. Okay, so keep moving through Vidalasana with the flow of your inhale and exhale. Really targeting that compression, belly draw it in, right, as you exhale all the air out. Good. Now, whether you're on your knuckles or on your hands or even hands on your blocks, we'll sort of focus on scapular descent or depression here, sending the sort of chest down, shoulder blades come together, and then pressing and lifting through the heart center and scapular elevation. So do this a few times, okay? Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you release through the chest. So the chest starts to lower down, and you'll notice the shoulders are going back and slightly up again, okay? Inhale, coming back. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. One more time. And sort of this scapular elevation, right? This pressing away is what's critical in our plank, especially if we're in this type of plank on the hands, okay? You want to push into the mat and press it away from you, maintain that lift through the chest upwards, you know, as you lift your heart up towards the ceiling. Meanwhile, you want to draw the belly in too, okay? So we'll come to that detail a little bit later. Let's come down to the back, hug the knees in, and get your lower back a little stretch over here, maybe back and forth, or circle the knees around, and just notice and feel what, you know, is feeling good for you. Okay, maybe back and forth, maybe a few circles. Relax the head down, maybe hug the right knee in, circle the knee around. Massage the hip socket a bit. Maybe you move side to side, back and forth, clockwise or counterclockwise circles. Again, feel it out here, right? See what's good for you. Good. Take a nice long pencil stretch. Inhale here. Exhale, left knee into the chest and circle this knee around, massaging the hip socket. And left and right if that feels good, or any other sort of motion or hold that feels good for you. Excellent. Bring both knees in again. Maybe roll into a ball. Hands hold opposite elbows. And a little passive twist to our left here. Nice and easy and gentle. You might give yourself a little adjustment through the lower back. And one over to the right side. Shift your hips a little bit to the left if that feels good. And you may have adjusted on this side too. But just sort of preparing, our lower back for this core sequence. Let's begin with yogi bicycles, interlacing hands behind head, allowing the head and neck to rest comfortably, so try not to press too much here. If it does feel good for you to stretch out the neck a little bit before you begin, go ahead and do that. You're creating traction as your hands slide against the back of your head without moving much to create a little traction and stretch the back of the neck. Nice and easy. As the head comes back, weight supported with the hands. Let's inhale. Exhale, contraction through the core, so shoulders come up higher. Extend right foot heel, right elbow to left knee. Come back, inhale. Exhale up. Extend left elbow, right knee. Back as you inhale. And at your own pace as you move here. Connect breath to motion. And belly button hug it in the whole time. Higher you could lift with the shoulders, of course, the more challenging. And notice if you're using ujjayi breath or breathing through the mouth like Pilates, right? Exhaling out through the mouth. See which works better for you. Now, knees come back, shoulders come down, inhale here, exhale, feet up, shoulders up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Keep going. Good. Now keep the shoulders up, bend the knees, hinge at the hip as you lower the left foot down, right? Not really bending the knee. You're keeping the 90-degree angle. Maybe just toes tapping, coming back, and then right side. Keep going. So the hinge at the hips, right? That's the motion is at that hinge. Core active, second belly. See if you could lift the shoulders up a little higher. Good. Relax the head, release, and hug the knees into the chest. Hang on to the legs or rock a bit back and forth here, massaging the lower back and the mid back. Softening shoulders away from ears. but your grip underneath your legs is firm. Each time you come up, core stays active, pause, and then roll back down. If the feet straight is a bit much, you might just keep the knees bent with the feet lower than, knee height as you come down. Good. Let's hold a boat pose here, just to brace through the core a bit. Notice how the lower back feels. Posture up here, shoulders back and down. Maintain lift in the chest, shoulders soften away from ears, so we feel a bit more length through the crown of the head, elongating our neck as we draw the belly in. Good. Now as we release, we'll bicycle here, maybe hands beside you if that's a bit much, or hands behind your head if you want a bit more. Now you're going elbow to knee, opposite side, with an exhale. Second belly. Flex toes towards you. Four, three, two, and one. Hang on to the legs again. Sit up tall. Notice you may have had a more rounded back. Time to posture up again. If you want a bit more, boat pose, Navasana. Cross the legs, come forward. Bring blocks with you if you want, or not. This is totally optional. Send the feet back. Hips up, downward facing dog. Pedal it out, bicycle it out. Good. Now, to stretch the sort of ventral side of the body, or the front side of the body here, the blocks do help a bit because I'm going to hover to this plank position, and then I'm going to relax pelvis downward, and I might even release the tops of the feet, the knees and the shins to the mat. Now as I press floor away, I lean the shoulders back and down, I lift the chest up and press hands and externally rotate so the eyes of the elbows are facing forward. Maintaining that lift through the heart center, relaxing through the glutes and the pelvis here, and stretching the ventral side of the body, right? All the way to the bottom portion where the lower abdominal muscles are. Breathe here. Easy with the lower back. Curl toes, downward facing dog again. Bicycle it out or settle into your downward facing dog. Extension through the arms, backs of the legs, right? Belly button, hug it in. Good. Hover forward, lower the knees down, blocks can come over to the side. While we're still fresh, let's work our first dolphin plank or forearm plank. Let's go ahead and, you can bring the hands together or keep them more parallel, like number 11. And let's start the time in 3, 2, and 1. If this is a bit much, you could lower the knees down, and the shins can come down, tops of the feet can come down. If you're okay, heels extend away, core stays active, belly button drawn in and up into the spine. You could squeeze the glutes just a little bit like you want to tuck tailbone further underneath you. Your shoulders right over your elbows. And that scapular elevation, pressing forearms, pressing your mat away. Good. Come up to your plank. That's 1 minute. Shake out the legs a little bit here. Maybe a downward facing dog. Exhale it out. Have a seat and legs come forward again. Come down to your back. We'll work a little bit of hundreds. This is more of a Pilates sort of movement here. The breathing is going to be a bit more rapid through the mouth as we pump the arms. So your arms are energetic, right? You're reaching through the fingertips. Hollow out the belly. Pull the lower back towards the floor. Press it there. You can't slide your hand underneath there. If this is a bit much for the neck, one hand is going to support the head and the other arm is going to pump, and you can alternate later if you need to. Otherwise, chin to chest. Those that want a bit more, feet straight up, pointed toes, shoulders up a little bit higher as you get that more compression through the core. Might feel like you have more of a rounded back, but that's okay. Shoulders away from ears, keep pumping the arms. Those that want a bit more, easy with the lower back, legs 45 degrees. If you want a little bit more, shoulders up a bit higher. Hope it's burning. Mine sure is. Feet back up again, shoulders come back down a little bit. Knees bend, keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hug the knees in. Then send the feet back. Big, long pencil stretch here. Big inhale. Sigh it out. One more time. And sigh it out. If it feels good to take that little passive twist again with the knees bent, go ahead and do that. Might be a good little release for the lower back in case your lower back tensed up a bit. Excellent. We'll come back with the feet down, right? We'll try not to take as many breaks. Feet together or slightly apart, maybe a few inches between them. They're going to be down, parallel, right? Knees and thighs and feet parallel. Interlace hands behind head if you want. Core stays active here. Inhaling. Exhaling, shoulders off the floor. So you were compressing the core again. Contraction through mainly the upper abdominal muscles as we come up. Okay, inhale down. Exhale up. Keep going.
Now, relax your feet and extend them out. Hands apart here, right? So your arms are extended apart here. Belly button in, inhaling, exhaling as you lift with the right shoulder, side, and arm. The left leg lifts up and right hand to left foot. Come down. Inhale. Exhale, left to right. Keep going. So exhale as you come up, inhale as you're going back down. Alternating. If this is a bit much, you might do with a knee bend, sort of like you were doing a bicycle. It's going to look like that, okay? If the straight leg is good, you like the more of a challenge with the shoulders lifting up higher, straight leg, keep going. Let the exhale and the contraction bring you up as opposed to momentum. Good. Rest. Hug the knees in. Circle the knees around or rock a little bit back and forth. Hang on to the legs, rock back and forth. And again, Navasana, boat pose. Hover, hold, belly button draw it. Chest forward and up, shoulders back and down. Maybe a little bit higher this time. Cross legs, try not to let the feet land. Sit up tall. I'm going to hook my feet against each other like that. I'm going to sit up tall, draw the belly in. Okay? Now release the hook here. Extend the feet away. If you want a bit more, you're hovering a little bit lower. If that's a bit much, hands here underneath your hips, sort of supporting the lower back a bit. Okay? But otherwise, back and forth. Extension through the heels, flexing toes towards you. You go lower back here, a little bit harder. Two and one. Rock back and forth. Cross legs. Hands forward. Feet back. Pedal it out. Bicycle it out in your downward facing dog. And hover to your high plank. Exhale again, relax the knees, the shins, the tops of the feet down. Send the pelvis forward, shoulders back and down. Maintain, lift through the heart center. Try to relax through the belly a little bit to let it stretch as you press and maintain the lift. As you slowly curl toes under here, send the hips up again. Release a bit with your downward facing dog. Nod the head yes a few times. Shake the head no. Okay. Go ahead and have a seat. Now something that we haven't done before are these sort of hip flexor workouts. Okay. And so you're going to sit with your feet as wide apart as you can get them. Okay, and sit up tall, really kind of adjust into your seat here, belly button draw it in, okay? And flex and point toes a bit here, so you're engaging your quadriceps a bit. Belly button, hug it in, hands behind you, maintaining a good posture here as much as we can, okay? So now what we're going to do is, the beginner level is my hands are going to be back here, and I'm going to lift the right side, lift the left side, okay? So the further the body's back, easier it seems as your hands come forward, and then the lift gets much harder. I haven't done these for a while, and it's totally okay if you laugh, but you'll see, you'll start to feel these, okay? So I'm going to initially have the hands closer to me, fingertips to the floor. I'm going to draw the belly button in, pointing toes, and we're going to pulse here as we lift up. So even if the lift is a little bit, it's okay. Let's try to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, not too bad, right? My hands weren't that much further away. Let's take the hands a little bit further forward, maintain belly in again, pointing through the toes again, right? Energetically sending energy through the toes, through the feet, in directions away from the body. Belly in, and we'll try to go for 10 now. Okay, so hands a little bit further forward. Ready? And let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oof. Flex feet towards you. You might have felt a little pull there. Press here, lift up, or do a little bit of forward fold, flexing toes towards you to release a bit through the backs of the legs and the glutes. Excellent. Now, third set, we're going to see if we could go a little bit further forward. If that's a bit much, remember, you could be back here, right? And that could be plenty right there, challenging enough. But if you're going a little bit further forward, core active, belly button, draw it in, and let's pulse. Maybe a little forward fold stretch to release. Good. Bring your blocks nearby, or objects, or you might even have bars that have a base, and you could use the bar to press, and so you could kind of lift off the floor like that, okay? So I'm going to keep the blocks nearby. I don't want the elbows to stick out. I want to hug the arms in a little bit, and as I press, I want to hug the arms in and bring the elbows closer to the trunk of the body, okay? These blocks are good because they're nice and firm. The base is a little bit wider, gives my hands enough sort of space for me to settle on. Lift here, belly button, draw it in. Relax a bit through the pelvis. Let the weight drop towards the floor. Let your legs relax, but your arms, your hands are working, pressing. Your triceps are engaged as you maintain that, again, that elevation and press here, right? So triceps engage. You might feel it in the upper back muscles a little bit. And slowly lower back down. Good. Shrug the shoulders a little bit here. Excellent. Now, hands back on the blocks again, or on your bars, or on the floor. As you press and lift, lift the right leg, core stays active, up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Brace through the core. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wide stance, foot comes down, chest forward, right? Hug the arms in, hug the belly in here. Energize the left foot, right foot planted down. Lift foot high here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring it down. Lower the hips down. Blocks over to the side. Cross the legs. Come to your downward facing dog. Nod head yes, shake head no. Take a few breaths here, really settle into it. Good. Hover to your high plank. Bring blocks with you if that helps you, sort of have your hands on and get you a little bit more of a lift. For these particular ones that we're going to do next, sometimes the blocks do come in handy because it'll allow you to get the knee closer maybe to the head. Okay? Less compression with the blocks, more compression if no blocks, because you have to now do more work to maintain lift and bring the knee in. Okay? So let's go high plank, knee to right elbow, foot goes back. Left knee, left elbow, foot goes back. Exhale as you come forward. Good. Side plank to your left. You could lower down to the forearm also this way. Okay. Right hand up, hips up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. High plank. Right knee to left elbow. Knee goes back, foot goes back. Left knee, right elbow. Okay? Now we're crossing sides here. Come down to the forearms, onto the right forearm side. So side plank, you're on the right side, outer blade of the right foot heel is down, right forearm is down. Hip lifts here, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to your plank, lower your knees down. Sit back for a child's pose, Balasana. Relax through the shoulders and neck. Wiggle the shoulders a little bit away from ears here. Make a fist with each hand or open, close fingers here. Open, close hands. And slowly rock the head a little bit left and right. Now, come back up for a second. Thread your right arm through to the left and sit back into your child's pose. Palm of your right hand facing up. Hopefully a good release for the back of the shoulder on the right side. I have the chin right now just over the bicep here, forehead resting, but you could have the right side of your head and face on the mat also if that feels better for you. Good. Come back, bring that arm out, send left arm through to the right and sit back to your child's pose. Relax your forehead. Releasing through the shoulder on the left side. Good. Slowly now as we come back. Now this is where the blocks actually do come in handy because we do want more height off the floor. Okay? So hands on blocks, we're going to send the feet back. We're going to first come to our downward facing dog. Get a nice little stretch here, sending heart through towards the direction of your knees, of your feet. Nodding head, yes, and shaking head, no. Good. Now, hands on blocks. As you look forward, and as you hover your shoulders more over your hands, brace through the core, keep your left foot planted down, lift up your right foot and bring it forward like you're going towards your block. Okay? So first we're going to walk forward in that direction with both feet. So I'm going to kind of tippy toe or kind of lift the feet up and bring the toes closer and closer. And feet are together now. I'm kind of like in a forward fold, right? So now I'm going to step back. And I'm going to step forward. Try to maintain higher lifts and foot floating and getting closer to the block, right? So I'm going to stay on the left foot. Float the right foot. And back. Plant the right foot down. Float the left foot and back. Brace through the core each time you come forward and press hands into the blocks or into the floor. If you look down and behind you, less tension for the neck. If you look between the hands, just be aware of the tension in your neck. Good. Lower the knees down, put the blocks over to the side, come to your back, hug the knees into the chest. Release the hands overhead here, take a nice long pencil stretch again. Good. Now, as we exhale, we'll bend the knees and bring them in towards the belly. As we exhale also, simultaneously, we'll be lifting up through the chest and sweeping the arms besides us here. Okay? So 2 hands, 2 feet, knees move at the same time. Inhale here. Exhale. Now as you inhale, send it back. Exhale. Inhale back. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhale. One hand behind the head. If your neck is tensing up, you need a little bit of support. As you exhale, shoulders higher off the floor. the lower back is sensitive. Hands here, and you're simply working on that, right? That's good lower back support there, okay? Otherwise, your arms are moving. Good. Hang on to the legs. Rock a little bit back and forth. Extension through the heel. If that little extra flexion feels good for the lower back, right? Releasing a bit through the backs of the legs. Hang on here as you rock back and forth. This time, Navasana boat pose. Maybe you try to reach more for underneath the calves, underneath the feet, underneath the heels. Draw the belly in here. Sit up tall as you extend. Shoulders, draw them back and down. Gaze up towards the toes. Hug the elbows in. Compression through the core. Notice the quality of your breath now. Maybe Ujjayi breath. Slowly as you bend knees, have a seat, send the feet come down, let the feet come down. Blocks nearby, or the platform that you're going to press off of, okay? And this is optional here, a bit more advanced. Cross the feet as you come up, lift butt off the floor. So beginner level, you might be working on the press, right? Strengthening your arms also, brace core, hugging belly. If crossing feet, really have to press, lift off, and belly button in. Lower down, block slightly over to the side, boat pose, Navasana. Cross legs, maybe your feet don't touch. Plant blocks down, hands on the blocks, press and lift again. Now if you're working that sort of jump through or jump back, this is where you want to bring the feet in, lift up the hips, and send the feet back. Adjust blocks for your downward facing dog. Get a nice stretch here as your hands press into the blocks, sending heart towards the knees, towards the thighs. Nodding head, yes. Shaking head, no. Good. Go ahead and lower the knees down. Again, sit back onto the heels. Shrug the shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Whew. Worked up a sweat today. Gently shake the head no, maybe nod the head yes. Shrug the shoulders a bit. Good. And now have your socks on and bring your disc gliders, if you're not using socks, if you're using the gliders, or you have your socks on, wooden floor, and let's bring the blocks with us also, okay? I'm going to just set up over here, a little bit closer, just make sure. I'm going to have to adjust the camera just a bit, or maybe I'll move this back a little bit here, and that way I could use that space. Okay. So again, similar to that movement that we were doing with hands on the blocks, and straight leg. We're trying to float one foot in at a time. We'll gradually try to do that with both feet, okay? And the feet sliding, of course, is going to mimic that sort of press to lift the hips up. Core compression, right belly in, scapular lift and elevation as our hands push floor blocks away. So, but first, we'll work the mountain climbers by sliding the feet or using the gliders here. So bear crawl position and begin to slide. I can have the tops of the feet down, right? Really pressing block away and alternating, sliding the knees, maintaining that lift. Feet are starting to cramp up, so I got to put the balls of the feet back on the gliders. Keep going. Good. That was first set, warm up. So let's go ahead and sit back, release a bit through the shoulders here. Bring hands behind you if it feels good for a stretch, a little chest opener. Releasing through the shoulders a bit, right? So I'm here, on the knees, on the shins, interlacing hands. Soften chin towards chest. Shrug shoulders again as you release the hands. Gently shake head, no. And nod head, yes. Okay. Back to the blocks and the floor or the gliders. Now, we'll try to lift the hips up as high as we can. Keep pressing, right? You don't want the chest to drop here. It's critical to keep pressing and hugging in the belly. Exhaling as you bring the feet in, okay? So hips up like a downward facing dog. Exhale as you come in. We do it one at a time, or if you're modifying, you might be just doing your gliders, mountain climbers. Mindful with your hands and your wrists. Good. Maybe relax into a little forward fold once you come back. Keep the knees bent a little bit if you need to. Release a bit through the neck. And sway, pendulum, ragdoll, side to side. Lift, lengthen halfway, inhale. Step back, high plank. High plank, inhaling. And lower down, chaturanga. Good. Now, cobra, tops of the feet down, hands reaching behind, energize, lift shoulders off the floor, glutes activate a bit here, right? Thighs are active, kneecaps lifted. Maybe hovering hands off the floor. Relax a bit through the glutes, shake them a little bit left and right as you release. Hands reach back, locust, shalabhasana, energize. Feet, arms, chest, shoulders lift off the floor. Hug the belly in. Long neck, option to interlace hands. Release. Press up. Downward facing dog. Bicycle it out a few times. And settle into it and begin to breathe and hold. Close the eyes. Really tune into that deeper, slower breath. Good. Now, as you hover into your plank position, again, high plank position, feel free to have hands on blocks if you need to. Switch maybe to the knuckles or hands on your mat, okay? Now we're going to bring the feet a little closer together. Keep hugging the belly in, press floor away. Right knee, hover it as high as you can towards the right elbow, okay? We're going to windshield wipe across 20 times. 8, higher, 9, 10, 11, keep pushing, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 20. Foot goes back, left knee comes in, high towards the left elbow, 20 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, higher. 20. Sit back again on the heels. Bring the hands behind. Interlace. Open through the heart center. Big inhale here. Exhale. Maybe come to a little forward fold. Slowly coming back. Shrug the shoulders a little bit here. Shake the head. Good. Let's come back to our plank position. Forearms. We'll try to hold it maybe a little bit longer. Really pushing our endurance here. Option for knee to elbow, I'll show that, but let's set it up first. So you're here. Time starts now. Right knee comes in, goes back. Left knee goes back. Okay, keep the feet back and together. Rainbow drops, right and left. Keep hugging in the belly. Forearms keep pressing floor away. Pause, knee to forearm, knee to elbow, alternate. Good. Child's pose, rest. Soften through the shoulders, wiggle shoulders away from ears, and soften the forehead down. And release the space between your ears and shoulders. Good. Come up here. Now, come down to the back again. Hug the knees in a little bit or rock a little bit back and forth. Release a bit with a twist. Other side. Good. Feet come back. Relax the arms open for a little bit here, just to let some of that tension, the shoulders release. You could keep the feet down, keep the knees bent. Good. Now, we might hang on to the legs and come up, or exhale and do a sit up to come up here. So we'll start in this position, right? Hands forward, palms can face each other or down. Face each other, let's keep them just to, keep things consistent here. Belly button in, lean back a little bit here, find that point of resistance, hold. Right, think posture again. Your shoulder blades kind of squeeze back together here, belly button, you suck it in. Right arm, right hand up. Right hand back down. Left hand up. Left hand back down. Right foot up. Right arm up. Or left arm up. Right foot down. Left arm back parallel. Left foot extend. Right hand up. Right arm comes back, left foot comes back. A little bit further hold. Right hand opens to the right. Hand comes back. Left to the left. Left comes back. A little bit lower. Maybe feet up. Option to cross arms. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Big inhale. Release with the exhale. One more time. Hug the knees in. Wrap the arms around, roll into a ball, if that feels good, or press lower back into the floor and relax the back of the head down. Apanasana, or wind removing pose. Hug the right knee in, release the left foot and relax, circle around again. Give that knee a good squeeze in towards the right armpit. Soften shoulders away from ears. Your arms are active right now. Your hands, the interlace is firm. Now as you relax that knee away, keep it bent. Guide it to the left with your left hand. Maybe gaze over to the right or keep the head neutral. Slowly as you come back, left knee comes in, interlace, hug it in. Give it a good squeeze on the left armpit side. As you press, shoulders away from ears, arms are active here, right? Hands pressing. Releasing and guided to the right. Excellent. As you come back to center, maybe rock a bit back and forth. Crossing legs, feet go back. Stretch it with a downward facing dog. Or bicycle a few times. Forward to plank position, lower the knees down for a lazy upward facing dog or cobra here, pressing floor away. Soften through the hips, wiggle around a little bit, hug the belly in, but don't engage your glutes. Okay, and then as you come down to the chest, go ahead and look to your left here and extend the hands out, palms face down. We're going to stretch through the fronts of the shoulders a bit here also, just to release a bit, get a little comfort. Left hand is going to come in. I'm going to gently press and roll onto the front of the right shoulder here. My left foot comes behind my right leg. Now wiggle the hips a little bit to the center. Okay? You can relax here with the head. If the head is really high off the floor, a cushion or a towel, a folded towel, or a block underneath the face here could help. Okay? Otherwise, head relaxing. Left arm can relax behind your back. And slowly as you come to switch sides, you're looking to your right, left ear down, and you're slowly turning to come and plant the right foot behind now. Right arm can relax behind your back, palm of your left hand down, head, neck relaxing. Good. Slowly as you release, coming back to center. Hands, arms come in. Scoot the knees forward. Sit back for a little child's pose stretch here. Bring the blocks with you. You can have the blocks this way and have the backs of the arms on the blocks here. Releasing head down towards the floor. Getting a nice little stretch through the backs of the arms. Soften forehead down. Or more of a traditional balasana, child's pose is fine. Whatever feels good for you now. Good. Slowly as you come back. Maybe have a seat, cross the legs, sit up nice and tall, or sit on the block. That might bring a little bit of comfort, right? A little elevation here as you sit up tall. You'll relax your knees towards the floor, and you can shrug the shoulders up, back, and down a bit here. Up, forward, and down a few times. And then lightly, and again, moving through the neck. Maybe nodding head, yes. If that little neck stretch felt good, exhale, draw the belly in, round the back, interlace hands behind the head, and the friction and the direction of the traction is away. Don't just press the head down, traction along the back of the head to extend and lengthen the cervical spine, the neck, and then gradually bring the chin in towards the chest, okay? So inhaling, exhaling. Soften shoulders away from ears. Slowly as you release, lift up the chin. Relax the shoulders back and down. Look up and relax the head back. Good. And then again, a few maybe rotations just to release a bit more. Fantastic. And that pretty much concludes our yoga core practice for today. Hope you got a good sweat. Hope you got a good burn. I certainly did. And let me know if you want these classes to be a little bit longer. You know, we can definitely target more of the core also. There's more things to do. There's only just so much that I could, cover in an hour. But if you do want more, you want me to extend the class, no problem. I'll be happy to do that. Thank you so much again for joining me. I look forward to your feedback. Hope you had a great workout. Have a blessed rest of your day. Until next time, namaste. Shanti, Shanti.